Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at Walmart in McKinney, Texas. I post daily content for plant shopping, so if you can, please make sure you hit the like button for my video and subscribe as well. We will be going night shopping at this Walmart. I've been to this Walmart before, several times actually, and this is the Walmart that was super packed with a lot of trending tropicals by Costa Farms. So as you can see, this is the McKinney location off of Lake Forest. And we're gonna walk over here, but as you guys noticed, or if you haven't seen my previous video, the plants may have moved outdoors just because there were rows and rows of plants. And the first plant we're gonna be looking at is an Aralia right over here. This one is for $5.48 by Costa Farms. So the thing about it is with Costa Farms, they have been sending out these shippers full of exotic angel plants. It looks like this one has been sold through, or either that or some of the plants may have died and been tossed. But you can see right over here we have another purple waffle plant. I like the purple waffle plant. It's not as finicky as the snow white waffle plant that I ended up getting. It does require a little bit more humidity, and their soil needs to be a little bit more moist, so don't let that dry out completely. You can see that there are some plants right over here. This is another plant that I am interested in buying. This is a Pilea Dark Mystery. There's just a little bit of leaf damage. Otherwise, I think I would consider buying this plant. Honestly, I would be looking for this plant at another local grocery store called HEB, where they were selling exotic angel plants for $3.98 versus the $5.48 at Walmart. So, it just depends. When you go big box store plant shopping, you will start to see plant pricing. So I like to give you guys all of the plant pricing as well. Like this one right here is a Peperomia Guinea for $5.48. Now the thing about Peperomia Guinea, what I like about it is just the pink outlining on the variegated leaves. Beautiful plant, very easy to take care of. Peperomias are pretty easy to take care of. I don't really have any in my collection just yet, but I will think about possibly adding that. But you can see this Walmart may have moved a lot of their plants. The only critique I would have at this Walmart is I just really wish they would, merchandise the plants to where like maybe all of the Dieffenbachia, for instance, would be in one area, and just really keeping these plants together. I think it really inspires, shoppers like myself to pick up a plant that I may not necessarily want just because of the merchandising. I think they would sell a little bit more plants if it was just a little bit more organized, but that's just my critique on it. But you can see right over here we have a Dieffenbachia. This one looks to be a little bit dehydrated. So as you guys can see, these plants look to have been at this Walmart for quite some time now. And you can see right over here is a Ficus ginseng bonsai. I've been seeing a lot of these. It says to put 5 ice cubes. I would not recommend doing that. I would honestly just take the plant out of the catch pot and actually water it completely versus just putting ice cubes on it. I don't think that's the best way to water plants. And then right over here we have a Tradescanthia Nanook. I do like the Tradescanthia Nanook. Very excited that I finally landed one. This one is for $19.84 in a hanging basket by Costa Farms. This is a very easy to grow plant, and it's very easy to propagate. And then right over here we have a classic Janet Craig Compacta. If you've been following my plant shopping videos, you will know that I will always show that plant. It's a very easy to care for plant. And then right over here, we have a beautiful looking Calathea dotty. There's just a little bit of leaf damage here, but that's the thing about Calatheas. They really do require quite a bit of care. Calathea care, they don't like to have like tap water as their water. They would prefer distilled water or purified water. Otherwise, some of their leaves may start to brown or crisp up. And you can see we have another Dieffenbachia here. Now this is an easy to care for plant. This is a ZZ plant. It doesn't really require a lot of maintenance. Can tolerate lower light conditions. And then right over here we have an Aglonema Maria. Love me some aglonemas. So my plant foldies, and if you're new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. You already know I will always show an aglonema, and this is a beautiful Aglonema Maria. I just took off a little dead leaf. Still fairly good looking plant. This one is for $14.97 in a self-watering planter. And right over here we've got some Phalaenopsis orchids. Walmart has a lot of Phalaenopsis orchids. They're very common to find. And then this is a hanging basket full of Begonia Rex or Rex Begonia. I love the red leaves and also the black outlining of this plant. It looks like the blooms are gone. Like I said, again, I often visit the same big box stores just to see if there's any updates or restocks. So this one doesn't look like it's gotten as much of a restock. I think they've just moved some plants around. And then right over here, we have another staghorn fern. This one is for 1987. Look at how gorgeous the staghorn fern looks. Staghorn fern, I really want to add this to my house collection, but I would like to mount it on a wooden plank just so I can put it vertically on a wall. I think that would be super cool. And then right over here, we've got some more Phalaenopsis orchids. I'm going to pan around here and you can see another gorgeous Aglaonema golden papaya by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. This one is for 1984. It is in a self-watering planter, so I really love that for this Aglaonema. I think self-watering planters are amazing. Some people have some mixed reviews about self-watering planters, saying that it might cause root rot. Honestly, they've been really good to me, especially for my Alocasia, because it kind of gets rid of the guessing work in terms of when should I water a plant. And then right over here, we've got a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma for 1984. I used to have a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I have yet to get another Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I am thinking about possibly holding off on just getting the variegated version. And here is another gorgeous plant find. This is an Alocasia Jacqueline. So a couple things about my Alocasia Jacqueline. The leaves have died. There is some potential new growth, but I'm not 100% sure if I should just replace it or get another one like this. This one is okay. Or for those who grow Alocasia, is the Alocasia Jacqueline just very finicky? Because I don't know if it just requires a lot of water, like high humidity. Is the water, do we need to give it like purified water? It's a beautiful Alocasia, and part of me thinks that maybe these Alocasia that are being released by Costa Farms just need to develop a little bit more because they are finicky. It is a gorgeous plant. I just love the velvety texture of the leaves, the leaf shape, and also just the veining and also the stem. So there's just a lot going on with that particular plant. That one is for 1984. And then right over here, we've got some Dracaena lemon lime. This one is for $9.97 at a 6-inch planter by Garden Expert. Again, Garden Expert is basically Costa Farms plants. That is just Walmart's branding for house plants or indoor plants. And then we have a bunch of Monstera adansonii. My Monstera adansonii that I bought from a big box store, I've discovered had some mealybugs. So I definitely have been quarantining it away from all of my other plants. I've been spraying it every other day just to make sure I don't have mealybugs. And this is just some random Wex begonia right here for $1.97. So I am just curious if that plant is really meant to grow outdoors or if we can grow it indoors, but I am very curious and wanting to add that in my indoor collection. And then right over here, we've got a really cute mistletoe cactus for 1997 or 1987. This is a hanging planter in a terracotta type pot or a ceramic pot by Costa Farms. This is one of the plants that I've seen like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago that have not gotten any kind of like health decline. It is just looking like it just came out of its box off of the pallet. So mistletoe cactus, that's really cool. And then we have a beautiful Belgian waffle plant. I love the variegation of this plant. The thing is, I'm trying to figure out like the care tips for a waffle plant because the Snow White waffle plant I have has started to brown and crisp up on leaves. I'm not sure if it just really needs a lot of humidity or if it just belongs in a terrarium. And then right over here, we have another beautiful Alocasia Jacqueline. Surprisingly, I am shocked that this Alocasia Jacqueline has been doing very well at this Walmart, just because I don't feel like, and no offense to this particular one, I don't feel like the care tips or the care that these plants have gotten have been the best. And then if you think about it, all of the plants are pretty much jumbled up. I guess I'm being a little bit more critical when it comes to big box stores, just because when you go to like a local plant nursery, you can see that the plants are very much organized. But I am going to go outside and take a look at their outdoor section. You can see there are a bunch of bulb plants, a bunch of tulips. This particular McKinney Walmart, I was told, is one of the, like, in the top 3 garden centers for Walmarts in the state of Texas. They get a lot of shipments. So this is going to be a plant nursery area, garden area for Walmart that I will be frequenting throughout the spring and summer just to see what they have. But I am gonna just walk around and show you. And look at this. This is a jumbled mess of indoor houseplants. And the thing about it is facing the west. So I am just curious to see if these plants are actually going to do well out here. I'm afraid that they're going to get fried as, Texas. We ended up getting 92 degrees in North Dallas, which is where I am based at. And I'm just curious how these plants are going to hold up. But you can see what happens when you throw a bunch of plants together. I don't know, guys. Plant foldies, let me know what you think. Do you think this is a jumbled mess? Like, obviously the plants will be beautiful if we pull them one by one, but I don't like the fact that they just have plants just jumbled up everywhere. It's very cluttered. I'm not a fan. I am a fan of the plants. I am a fan of this particular Walmart because they get so many plants, but I just didn't really like how all of these plants have just been thrown together. Just some feedback, nothing too critical, but I really wish we could have these arranged. Like, I would even personally volunteer and arrange the plants myself for free. That's when you know that you are a crazy plant person because you care so much about the plants. I hope that people will buy these plants up just because there was a Walmart I was filming the other evening and all of their plants ended up getting fried, and they had such gorgeous plants about 3 weeks ago. And I'm just going to walk over here and you can see that these larger plants are further back. And they are still looking really nice. That is an amazing price for a lot of established plants. $19.84 is not bad. And all of these plants that we are looking at are fairly easy to take care of. You can see right over here, we've got some Dracaena massangianas. This is a nice looking plant. And you can see right over here, we've got some more Dracaena, Dieffenbachia. We've got some Dracaena marginatas right over here, more Dieffenbachia, Spathiphyllum, or what you call peace lilies, very large leaves, love that. And then we have some Monstera deliciosas right over here, more snake plants or sansevierias, fiddle fig leaf or Ficus liratas, and then we have some Majesty palms that are starting to decline in health. But you can see out in the outdoor patio section, we've got all of these indoor houseplants outside. And then this is actually the most latest shipment. So I've been going to a lot of Walmarts and they've gotten what they call Island Blooms by Costa Farms. So these are Mandevilla blooms or flowers. And then we've got some Dracaenas for $5.84. We've got some White Bird of Paradise for $5.84. And then we've got some Cordyline Hawaiian tea plants for $5.84. So we'll go into detail about that. I'm just doing a little quick walkthrough for you guys. I know my plant foldies, you guys like seeing a lot of the plants, so here you guys are. I am trying to diversify all of the plants, so not only am I going to feature a lot of the indoor aroids, tropical plants, but I would like to start showing you guys outdoor plants as well. I may start venturing out in herbs, gardens, other outdoor gardening plants, but you can see we've got a lot of braided hibiscus. And then we've got some roses here. So these roses were originally dormant, but as you can see, spring is coming around and they are starting to wake up and become active. Actually, an update on my outdoor Japanese maple garden. A lot of my Japanese maples are starting to push out new buds. So very excited that a lot of them made it through the winter. And you can see right over here, we've got hibiscus, beautiful looking plant. I recently got a variegated hibiscus, which I will feature in a future video. I am originally from the Philippines. My family's from the Philippines. And again, we call hibiscus gomamela, and those are very common to see in the Philippines. They do very well, obviously, in tropical climates. I wish I could grow these year round, but for hibiscus, especially if you live in the North Dallas area, you definitely want to keep them in a planter. You don't really want to grow them in the ground unless you want them to just die, and you'll just have to replant another one. But these are plants that you would need to put in a planter so you can bring them inside alongside all of these plants that I've walked through, like these Mandevilla flowers. They are beautiful. They've gotten 3 types of blooms. They've got a red one, a pink one, and a white one. And then we have some really large fern plants here. I really am not a big fan of these large fern plants, but at the end of the day, you know, we have all of our different types of plants we like. I'm just not a fan of them. I am a fan of hibiscus. I think they give you like these tropical vibes. Love the flower too. Even the traditional red ones are super cool. Look at that. I'm just going to go ahead and pan out and pan in. Nice looking one, and look at the braided part about that. I am actually curious to see how they braid up these plants and who came up with that idea. I see that often with like azaleas and different types of plants where they make them more of like a tree form. And you can see this Walmart is getting super full. I'm curious to see as they get more shipments in, how full this Walmart's gonna look like. But I love doing plant shopping videos, but I've noticed that doing plant shopping videos at night makes it so much easier. Because as you guys can see, I've been doing this for close to 2 months, and I have been posting, you know, pretty much hour-long videos. It's just easier for me to shop for plants or just do these videos when there's not a lot of people around. During the day, I have to like dodge workers, dodge employees, and then I just don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So this is why I've been doing a lot of night videos as of late. And then the first one up right here is an Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. This one is for $10.97 in a hanging basket by Garden Expert. This plant is so easy to take care of. If you are new to house plants, I would recommend getting this plant as one of your first plants, just because they don't require a lot of care. I do want to go move and show you this. So this is a compact cordyline tea plant. I really like this. This is for $9.97. I should have bought this plant actually when it first got released at the store, because now there is a little bit of a health decline with this plant, but I want to grow a cordyline plant indoors. Here's the thing about cordylines or tea plants. They are very spider mite prone when grown indoors. Like unless you have a humidifier right next to it, they just end up getting spider mites. But I love the look of the cordyline, and look at how gorgeous this like, you know, compact version is. I might end up still getting a cordyline, but maybe growing it in a hydroponic situation. So we will see about that. But that is a really nice one for $9.97. And then we have a dehydrated Dieffenbachia here. I have yet to get the Dieffenbachia plant ID for this one. So if you guys know my plant foldies, please let me know in the comments what that particular Dieffenbachia plant ID would be. I'd really appreciate it. And then right over here, we've got a crispy pink wave Photonia. This is a large leaf Photonia. I actually got one on clearance, and mine is doing well with Photonias. Do not let their soil dry out completely. Otherwise, they will start to droop and get super dramatic. That is another dramatic plant, one of the drama queen plants. And then here is a pretty nice looking Syngonium hanging basket. I like the leaf shape of this Syngonium. They're a little bit more narrow. I wish I knew the particular Syngonium plant ID. I love Syngoniums, but I have actually realized this season that Syngoniums are not as easy to care for. They're vigorous growers, but they can be a little bit prone to like pests. And also, if you are not watering them consistently, they do not like to be underwatered, but they also do not like to be overwatered. So just really figure out your watering patterns. Like this is a beautiful Syngonium as well. I think this is some type of illusion type Syngonium, bold illusion. I like how these particular leaves are a little bit rounder, and the pink veining is very nice. These are for $19.84, both of these plants. And I like the Belgian waffle plants right over here. This is a nice looking one as well. That's a nice looking one right here. The only thing that worries me about like a Belgian waffle plant, again, is just whether the leaves are going to crisp. So I just need to see about the humidity levels, if that's the case, or watering. And you can see there's just a lot of plants that are jumbled up. I just really wish that these plants were organized better, but you can see right here, we've got a beautiful philodendron Birkin. This one is for $14.97 in a self-watering planter. With philodendron Birkins, I'm trying to figure out whether their variegation or their white striping is more influenced with how much light they're receiving, or if it's just the genetics of the philodendron. But this is a plant that used to be super rare, or not even rare, very uncommon, and was priced out a lot. This is one of the more common philodendrons you will see at a big box store, alongside with the philodendron pink princess this year. But this one, it's definitely one you will find at any store that sells like indoor tropical plants. The next one right over here is an Aglaonema Silver Bay. Love Aglaonema. I hope that if you're watching my channel, you've gotten into Aglaonema. Very easy to care for plants. The thing about Aglaonema is if you overwater them, that is really the only way you can kill them. They can tolerate lower light conditions, although they would prefer bright indirect light, as they will start to get leggy if you give them lower light conditions. They are slow growing as well. And then we have another Alocasia Silver Dragon right here. This one's actually not a bad looking one. There's not any crisping on the leaves. Look at the texture and the gray of this plant. I love that color. And then I love the fact that the veins look like somebody just spray painted them. There is a little bit more subtle gradation on it. Really like that a lot. This is a Trending Tropicals Costa Farms plant for 1984 in a self-watering container. Really like that as well. And then we're going to walk over here and take a look at some more plants. But as you can see, they've mixed up their self-watering planters, Trending Tropicals. It's just a jumbled up mess. Maybe I'm just, fixated on that. I just really expect plants to be, cared for a little bit better. But you can see Scindapsus trubii Moonlight, beautiful looking plant. It is another plant that I would add as well to my house collection. But if you can see that this one is actually not a bad looking one. And we've got another Begonia Rex, and not a Begonia Rex, Begonia Maculata right over here. That's a nice looking one. This one actually has new growth. You can see that the new growth comes out a little bit more pink. I'm still on the fence on whether I want to add this begonia, just because its growth pattern is more upward, and so that means you have to put it on like some type of pole or trellis. I would prefer plants that are a little bit more compact in their growth, like more bush-like, and I could see this plant getting a little bit leggy. So as much as I like the polka dot patterns of that leaf, I'm not sure if I'm going to add that to my collection. And then right over here we have another philodendron Birkin. This one is really nice. It's a highlighted one, really nice looking plant. I have one in a hydroponic situation. So basically, if you're new to hydroponics, it's basically growing a plant in water, and I really like that as well. You can see that it is looking just fine right over here. And right over here, we've got a Ficus lyrata. We've got an Aglaonema right over here. But look at this right here. We've got a Ficus lyrata. This one is actually a plant that I thought was really finicky, but for some reason, the one I got for 99 cents on like super sale clearance is doing well. The thing about Ficus lyrata, they do require a lot of light, so bright indirect light. You don't really want to move it around, especially when it becomes established. It tends to drop its leaves when it's not happy. You want to be consistent about the watering as well. So if you go through a whole period where like you don't water it and then you soak it, you could see some of the leaves may drop as well. It's just a finicky plant in that regard. It likes more consistency. And then we have another Aglaonema golden papaya here. This one is actually starting to push out a bloom. So with Aglaonema, if they start to bloom, you want to snip off the blooms, because if you keep the blooms, it takes more energy for the plant to focus on the bloom versus growing its leaves, and that will stun the growth of the Aglaonema. So just a little tip, I learned this from a plant nursery, and actually it's done well for me, because I've let some blooms grow thinking that it'll look cute, but it actually never let my plant grow any further. And then this is an Aglaonema that I really want to know the plant ID for, so if anybody can let me know, that would be amazing. This plant ID is super cool. This Aglaonema is super cool. I like the texture of it, but I just don't know the plant ID. And what I really like about this Aglaonema is it is got white stems, so that's one of those things where I think it's a really nice looking plant. So, and then right over here, I like that. My plant folies, I am curious to see if your Walmarts are starting to get restocked with a lot of plants. I know that a lot of you guys are mentioning that a lot of your Walmarts are still not as stocked as maybe the Walmarts out here in the North Dallas area. Hopefully you guys are getting some plants. I'm curious to see what plants you guys are getting. So if you can, please leave them in the comments or even in the live premiere chats. It's just very interesting what kind of plants throughout the country people are getting. I've noticed that some plants in California, they've gotten some really cool looking ones, and then also out in Florida. I mean, obviously Florida is the mecca for these house plants, so we will see. But here we have another beautiful looking bromeliad. Bromeliads are seen everywhere. They're seen at big box stores, grocery stores. Not 100% sure what the plant care tips are, but in the end, it's still a nice looking plant. We've got a lot of other bromeliads here. And we just got a lot of plants. There's an Alocasia Jacqueline hidden in the corner, but this jumbled mess still has beautiful plants. This one right over here is a Philodendron Pink Princess by Grower's Bench. This one is for $24.97. I lucked out and got a bunch of these Philodendron Pink Princess on clearance for $7. I ended up getting 3 of them, and so I plan to do a repotting video where I place all 3 of them on like a pole so that their leaves can get larger. So we will see what that looks like. And then we have another beautiful Alocasia Milo Light here. Love this Alocasia, particularly for the leaf texture. So you can see that it's got like a velvety texture, but when you touch it, it feels like leather, like a leather bag or just leather. And I just am so amazed that a plant can have that type of texture. Like, that's amazing. And then right over here, we've got another Alocasia. This is an Alocasia Pink Dragon. I like the stems, particularly on this Alocasia, because they are pink. I love pink plants, and this one is actually doing very well. I would say these plants have probably grown within neglect. I'm surprised that their health hasn't actually declined. You can see that there is a new type of growth over there, so I'm just curious to see what that looks like. Really like that a lot, and really like the veining of the leaves as well. Alocasia care for me would be high humidity levels, water, obviously water consistently, not overwatering it, and then bright indirect light. And right over here, we've got a cuddly cactus. This is super cute. I definitely want to add this because this one doesn't even look like a real plant, but I do like the cuddly cactus. Let me know if anybody else is growing cuddly cactus. That one is for $14.97. And then we just have some more different types of plants here. This is another trending tropicals, Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. Love the green on green variegation. Very beautiful looking plant. Nice looking plant indeed. Look at that green on green variegation. Super, cool. Love that. And it's a plant that used to be rare as well. I remember paying $50 for a 1-leaf, 1-node cutting about 3 to 4 years ago. And now it is seen at a big box store. So that goes to show that if you have enough patience, no matter what, plants will become more easily accessible to the common, houseplant collector like me. Like, I am not all about collecting these super rare plants. I do have some variegated philodendrons, but I love plants because they bring me joy. So whether it's just a green plant that has some really nice foliage, I definitely do that. And then right over here, we've got a beautiful Aglonema red Siam again. And, I mentioned common plants. Even though an Aglonema red Siam is one that you will see at any store, I am a big advocate for that, just because look at how beautiful the leaves are. Even the pink stems are really nice. And then we're just going to go look over here and see that there are a lot of other plants. But it's just amazing how they literally just took all of those tables of plants that were indoors about maybe 2 weeks ago when I last visited, and put them out here. And it's actually facing south because that's where west, sorry. So I'm just curious to see what that looks like in the afternoon sun. I'm really hoping like this Alocasia Jacqueline doesn't fry. So we'll see what that looks like over here. Nice looking plant right there. Really like that a lot. And yeah, this is super sweet. I like the Alocasia Jacqueline. I just wish mine didn't die off. Like I literally have no leaves on mine and there's just like a little stem with some new growth coming out. So I will see if it was more of like an overwatering situation or underwatering, but I'm thinking I'm just probably going to have to toss it or replace it and get another one because that one is a nice looking Alocasia for sure. I would say it's probably the most finicky plant I have of all my plants. That's even Calatheas included. So we're just going to see what that all entails, but I'm going to pan over here and just show you all of these plants. And then here is another plant here hidden in the bottom. This one is an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. This one is for 1984. Also in a self-watering planter. I have one of these growing in my home. It is underneath a grow light and it is pushing out a lot of the yellow variegation. So with Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos, you definitely have to give it a lot of bright indirect light for it to sustain its variegation. Otherwise, it starts to revert back to green or the variegation is a little bit more subtle, but you can see all of these beautiful plants, but they're not as beautiful when they're all cluttered like this. So this goes back with like plant styling and how we grow our plants indoors. Say we have like, 100 plants, but those plants are all cluttered like that. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing and we can't really, at least for me, I can't really enjoy the plant's beauty if it's all cluttered. Here we're going to be looking at some flowering plants. So this one is a geranium in a hanging basket. I've never grown geraniums, but it is an interesting looking flower. Look at the bloom. Love that pastel pink. And then also the leaves are a nice velvety texture. Really like that a lot. And then right over here, we've got more geraniums. I like this a lot. I don't know about the care tips. All I know is that these plants will probably require a lot of bright light just because it is a flowering plant. Like, look, here's another one right here. This one is a red version. Nice looking one as well. And what else do we have going on here? We've got some more geraniums. And these are for 1788. And then we're going to be approaching Dusty Miller. So this is more of like a ground cover. Look at how dusty it does look. It's a very light gray color. Nice looking one. It's got some velvety leaves. This one is in a 6-pack, or not a 6-pack, a 4-pack for $3.54. So if you want some ground cover, that's nice. And then we are going to look at these wax begonias. So I did a little bit of research on wax begonia. It looks like you can grow them indoors. They are very adaptable to different lighting conditions. They do prefer more bright light. I guess with just most plants they do, but I want to grow it just because of the blooms. They are prolific bloomers. I'm thinking of getting the white version blooms because the white contrast with the dark foliage is going to be really nice. So I'm thinking about getting like a 4-pack of these for $3.54, 4-pack of these, and then putting, repotting them all in one planter just to have like a full plant. I have 3 Rex begonias in my collection right now, and I will be adding a wax begonia. I think I will grow most of it in outdoors, at least in the spring, just to see if I can get it to size up, because I've seen some really large specimens of these begonias, and they're absolutely stunning. I really like the flowering plants as well. This is really nice, the pink begonias. And right here, they are all for $3.54. So nice looking begonias. Walmart is probably going to be the most cost effective, so I'm going to end up buying one of these. But look at how beautiful the leaves are. Even in this lighting, they are just stunning. They've got like a natural shine about them, and it's just yeah. Yep. So look at all of these annuals right over here. And then right over here, we've got some petunias. This one is a nice looking one. I like the purple. This one is for $1.97. Just one. Honestly, if I'm going to buy like flowers, I wouldn't go with the single packs. I would go with like the 4 packs for $3.54. You just get more plants versus just one. So So plant foliage, you can see we've got a lot of flowering plants. And again, these are for $1.97, these wax begonia. I originally thought about just getting one small one, but I'm like, if I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug, I'm going to go ahead and just get like a nice full plant of wax begonia. Look at how beautiful the foliage are. And I am just going to be looking more at just a close-up. Look at that. Super shiny. Plant foliage, let me know if you've grown wax begonia indoors. I'm definitely going to be doing that this season, but for now, when I repot it, it's going to stay outside. And then like look right over here, we've got some beautiful snapdragons. Snapdragons actually prefer colder conditions. That's what I've been told, and they are a nice looking flower. So that's the thing about spring coming around. We're going to be seeing a lot of beautiful blooming flower plants, and that's something that I'm going to be sharing on the channel. So grow folds, plant foldies, if you've gotten this far and you haven't hit the like button, please make sure you are hitting the like button. It really helps my videos get pushed to more plant lovers, and I think it'd be awesome to continue to grow our plant community. I did want to take the time to tell all of the regular plant foldies that go on the live premiere chats, thank you so much. There is quite a bit of a list of y'all, so I'd like to at some point do a shout out where I call you guys out. I really appreciate that. I will say, Kathy from Canada, thank you for always encouraging people to hit the like button, or, alongside with Luke, who says smash the like button. We definitely want to smash or hit the like button for all of the plant videos I post. I've noticed that there's a lot more engagement when that happens, and even leaving comments in the comment section really does engagement. I think YouTube really rewards engagement, so that's really cool. And just the fact that you guys are already engaging with me is enough, but if you get a chance, that would be awesome. And then we have some dianthus flowers for $3.54. Haven't really paid attention to the flowers until this year, but these are nice looking. And then right over here, we've got more flowering plants here. We've got some geraniums right over here. I do like pink flowers, pink plants, pink anything. It's just one of those colors that I really like. It just gives me this like fresh vibe. I have some cherry blossom looking flowers. It's actually my peach tree that has started to bloom, so I will get some footage of that. And then we have a bunch of hanging baskets of pansies right here. Here's the thing about pansies. Pansies actually require colder climates. So like, I don't think they would do very well in Texas summers. You don't really see a lot of that. And then we have some fuchsia hanging baskets here. This one's really nice, $17.88. I like the bell type growth of the leaves. Like they're just kind of, not the leaves, but the flowers, they just look like they're hanging. And this one particularly looks really cool. They kind of remind me of like a goldfish plant, something of that. I don't know if you guys agree, but this is a really nice looking hanging basket. I have been able to grow hanging baskets in my home, and it's because I have these like command strip hooks that can hold up to 33 pounds of weight. And my Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess growing in my kitchen window has not fallen. So I bought those off of Amazon. Let me know if you guys have actually ended up buying that. But you can see these fuchsia plants right here are hanging. I might want to get a couple of those for my outdoor patio. And then we have a sea of petunias right over here. Really like that as well. Look at all of that pink petunias for $3.54. I like this one too. Look at the dark purple and then the magenta looking color. And then I just like that they have the white borders around it as well. Which reminds me, I am going to be going to the Dallas Arboretum. So for those that are not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Dallas Arboretum is an amazing place to see plants. And every year they have like a seasonal theme. I am sure they're going to have a bunch of tulips and flowering plants, so I will definitely try to get some footage of that. I have been just really working hard on getting like big box store, obviously footage. I mean, I think that's where most of our viewers and subscribers are here for, is the big box stores. But I hope that you plant foldies will also like looking at local plant nursery plants, maybe give you guys something to look at, maybe look forward to if you ever visit the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then we have some more Dianthus right here. Flowering plants growing up is one of the plants that I really like. I love flowers. I grew a lot of marigolds growing up. I grew a lot of zinnias growing up. I actually have some zinnias begonias that are sprouting in my backyard that we just threw out in the yard. So that's exciting. But this right here is for $9.74. I really like the Dantius. That's one of the plants that I am definitely into. I would probably add that in like a planter or a container. I don't know if I want to go plant them outside in the ground. And then we're going to pan over here and look at some more flowers. I haven't ever really grown this one. This one is a delphinium. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it. Nice looking blue flowers. And the thing about it is blue blooms in nature are fairly rare. So this is a really cool looking flower. It's like a legitimate blue color. Love that a lot. Love the contrast of it. It's got some purple undertones as well. Definitely a fan of this flower. Not sure about the plant care tips on that. And then this is another version of it as well. So these are by Better Homes and Gardens, and these are for $9.74. Plant folies, let me know if you've actually grown this particular type of perennial. And for anybody who's new to even outdoor gardening, perennials are basically flowers or plants that will die off at the end of the year, but will always come back. So perennials could be like caladiums, tulips, these flowers right here, well, they die off and then they come back each and every year. So I think that's really cool. And then right over here, we've got some more geraniums. I love the white blooms as well. White blooms are so classic. They are very elegant. Anytime I get flowers, I love getting white flowers, pink flowers, and yellow flowers. Those are like my favorite colors when it comes down to flowers. And then we've got some creeping phlox for $8.77. So if it says creeping phlox, I think that these actually mound and spread. So that's really cool. These would be good ground cover. And when you touch the leaves feel like a waxy texture, almost like Hoya actually. And then we've got some pink ones as well over here. Now this is really interesting. So we've got some ranunculus, I think that's how you pronounce it, for $5.47. Their leaves are definitely more like succulent looking, and then the flowers are they're actually very sturdy. They almost remind me of roses. I don't know if you guys are getting that vibe. And then right over here, it's different. This one actually has a different type of like flowering shape, but I like these a lot as well. These are flowers I've never paid attention to. Like, look at this one. This is a beautiful looking one, and these are for $5.74. So I might have to get a couple of flowers in my garden just for some blooms, but we will see. I'm going to assume that this one is going to need full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours. I could be wrong, but look at that. Look at how beautiful that flower is. Let me know in the comments if you guys are a fan of these flowers, or if you've grown them. I'd love to see what your insights are. But plant folies, I am definitely trying to get you guys some different types of content. Hopefully you guys are liking the diversifying, the diversity of plants right over here. Just because I know we always see the same like house plants at big box stores. Unless I go to like a local plant nursery, you're not going to see as much diversity. So I wanted to show you guys some more outdoor plants as well. It's just good to look at plants. Like, look at this. We always see cyclamen as well. I'm surprised that we still have a lot of cyclamen available. We're going to see if cyclamen actually will be available throughout the year. I know that they usually come out during the winter months or fall months just because they prefer colder conditions. But look at how perfect the cyclamen leaves are, and look at the texture and the variegation of the cyclamen leaves. Really nice looking flower as well. And you can see that there are just a lot of annuals and perennials starting to fill up. I want to see when this actual Walmart gets filled up with even more flowers and just all sorts of plants. I will definitely be here to document that and show you guys these plants as they get them. But we're going to walk over here and just look at a little bit more detail on the larger plants. So they have some Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig tree. I like that a lot. They can grow very massive, up to 20 to 30 feet tall. If you haven't already seen my Plant Keeper Incorporated nursery tour, definitely check that out. It's a local Dallas nursery out in downtown Dallas that you definitely need to check out. They've got some large specimens of Ficus lyrata. And then we've got some snake plants right over here. Truthfully, I'm not as big of a fan of snake plants. They say that they're easy to care for plants, but The only kind of snake plant I really like are the starfish ones. And then right over here we got some spathiphyllum. Look at how large the leaves are, and I love spathiphyllum. The only thing is they will definitely tell you when they are thirsty. Their leaves will droop, they will curl, they will just be dramatic, just like calatheas. And then right over here we have some dracaenas. Right here, Dracaena Hawaii, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but look at how beautiful that green on green variegation is. Very nice looking Dracaena. Dracaenas are very easy. They are lower light tolerant. They don't have to be watered as often. They may be susceptible to like mealy bugs, but other than that, they're pretty easy. And then we've got some yucca cane plants for $19.84. That is a low price for a large plant. And we've got a Dracaena marginata right over here. I prefer the one with the pink variegation versus the purple and green ones. But if you want a dark foliage plant, that is a perfect one as well for especially a dark corner of your home. And then we have some Dieffenbachia right here. I still need to know what the Dieffenbachia plant ID is for that one. And this one is a Dieffenbachia Sparkle. Love the green on green variegation. I've yet to add a Dieffenbachia to my collection, but I may eventually do that. And then we've got some Dracaena Masangianas right over here. These are the cane Dracaenas. You often see that at like offices, doctor's offices, dentist offices, corporate level places. Actually, a lot of these plants that I'm panning over, you will actually see at those types of locations. But, you know, this Dracaena right here, I feel like is an underrated plant. I don't think a lot of people grow them in their homes, but it's a plant that will bring you a lot of joy because it doesn't require a lot of care. Or not nearly as high maintenance is the better way to put it. And we have a Monstera deliciosa right here. The leaves are a little bit damaged. And then we're gonna walk over here again and show you the Mandevilla flowers. These are hanging baskets and they're starting to bloom. Look at these red ones, beautiful. Definitely gives you the tropical vibes. So thank you to Costa Farms for providing all of these plants. All of the Walmarts are getting restocked with these and it's amazing. I am just curious how they are able to grow hundreds of these plants and pretty much like, you know, source these out for all of the Walmarts throughout the country. If you are out of the state of Texas, let me know if you guys are getting these same plants. And I did want to walk over here. So this is a Dracaena. Obviously, it's very juvenile. And then this is what it will end up looking like if you grow it. It will start to like cane up, wood up, and it will just look like that. But this is a starter plant for $5.84. Really like that a lot. These are island blooms and you can see some of the roots are coming out. Actually, I have an idea. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get one of these starter plants and grow them in hydroponics since they have some really nice healthy roots. This one is a white bird of paradise. Like I would most likely try to grow this in a hydroponic situation. The only thing is white bird of paradise or bird of paradise plants really require a lot of bright light, almost full sun. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I am going to go ahead and pull the plug and get me a cordyline Hawaii tea plant. In just a sec, I'm going to choose one and actually put it in a hydroponic situation. I'll probably film it and show you how to do that. Again, if you are new, hydroponics is just basically growing plants in water. Couple of benefits from that is, actually the biggest benefit is you don't have to guess when to water the plant because the roots acclimate to where it's just going to be fed through as much, you know, water as it needs. But I'm going to look at one that has a lot of leaves. This one is actually influenced, the variegation, the pinks are more influenced by the amount of light you give it. It can take full sun. So I will definitely give it a lot of bright indirect light in my home. I wish I could grow these indoors, but it's one of those that if you grow them indoors, and I've tried it twice, and they end up still getting spider mites even though like you spray it down, unless you have like a humidifier where, you know, spider mites don't like that high humidity, you'll get it. But I think I'm going to end up getting this one. That one has some nice variegation on it, but I'm going to look at a couple more. There was one that was actually pretty tall. This one is the one I'm looking at, pretty tall. So I'm going to see what bowl I'm going to put it in and see how that, you know, works for me. But for $5.48, I don't mind spending that to, you know, try something different. You know, some people grow a lot of their plants in leca. Some people grow their plants in soil. Some people grow them in pond. I want to try hydroponics. We'll see how that works. I have one in an aglaonema that's working out and it's doing well so far. It's on day, I think, 3 or 4. And then right over here, we have some Mandevilla flowers. And I'm going to pan over here to some more hibiscus. Again, love hibiscus. Very excited that I found a variegated hibiscus. It's a hibiscus salsa dancer. So if you want to Google what that looks like before the video I post, you can definitely do that. It's beautiful variegation, lots of pink. And I'm shocked that that variegation can take full sun, but I'm going to go ahead and take these. So I ended up plant shopping. I actually picked up a couple of plants. I got this wax begonia right here, 4-pack. And I'm also going to be getting this cordyline plant with the intent to put it in water. So we are definitely going to see that, but I wanted to pan over here and show you all of the plants they have one more time. They've got all of the outdoor grilling as well here. Again, I will visit this Walmart soon, probably in a couple of days, to see if they fill it up even more. But I am excited to be able to pick up these plants. I've been looking at this wax begonia. I remember seeing it being a very large specimen at the Fort Worth Botanical Gardens, and we'll see if I can grow it that way. But I went ahead and picked that. And the next stop is just going to be a quick stop. This is at a Kroger marketplace out in the Colony. So we're just going to take a look. I know that I did a whole video for about an hour of just 2 different Krogers, but this is what I'm interested in. So these are assorted blooming plants for $9.99. They still have some of those Valentine indoor azaleas. So I think I am going to try to get one of these as well. I just want to make sure that the price is $9.99. They have them on sale because right now this large one right here is for $19.99. I ended up getting it actually for $6.99 at the other Kroger. And by the way, wait till you guys get the update. The blooms are starting to really just fill up. And then right over here, we have some kalanchoe. I'm going to get a kalanchoe just to say I have a kalanchoe because for some reason, every single big box or grocery store I show kalanchoe. I am going to get a variegated version out at Plants and Planters, which is another local plant nursery in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But you can see these are beautiful indoor azaleas by Cascade. These are the variegated ones. So that one is the one that has like variegated leaves and variegated flowers. I am so excited that mine is blooming. It's doing very well indoors. It's not dropping leaves. The thing about these indoor azaleas, if you're going to grow them, plant foldies, is you definitely don't want to have your house be hot. They prefer colder conditions. They prefer some humidity. And you definitely do not want to let the water run out of their soil. Like you do not want it to get bone dry. They like to stay at a relatively like moist type of watering. So make sure you do that. And obviously give it a lot of bright indirect light. Grow it by a window, grow it under a grow light. I have a grow light that gives these plants, and you can put some soil amendments to make the soil more acid. Some people use coffee grinds and sprinkle a little bit in the soil. But the azaleas love acidic soil, so I'm going to get some acidic, stuff to make it more acidic, the soil. That way they can actually take up more of the nutrients from the soil. That's what acid-loving plants do. And this is probably the azalea I want to pick up. It's the purple one. I think purple just gives that royal vibe, so we'll see about getting that. And then you can see right over here, we've got some miniature roses. I would love to grow miniature roses. I've tried it before. If I'm going to get one again, they're going to be the variegated versions. And you can see all of these plants supposedly are for $9.99. So if that is the case, I'm going to go ahead and get those indoor azaleas because they can pretty much grow year round, and apparently they rebloom. So we will see, but I will show you these beautiful miniature roses right over here. Love that. Love that a lot, actually. It just requires a little bit more bright light for sure. Full sun, actually, for these roses. And look at that. Very cute looking one. And yeah, it says sale blooming assorted, $9.99. So I'm definitely going to cash in on that. I love azaleas. And if I can grow these successfully indoors, I may take cuttings and propagate them and maybe even make bonsai out of them. I've always wanted a bonsai azalea. I had a couple of Satsuki azaleas that were in bonsai, but I ended up killing them. You have to stay on top of their watering. So that's the thing that I probably failed at, is the watering. And then we have some more Phalaenopsis orchids here on sale. I think $13.99 for the teacup size. So these are all the teacup sizes. Look at this one right here. teacup orchid. Look at that. Look at how beautiful the blooms are. My plant foldies, if you made it this far and you haven't had a chance to hit the like button, or if you're a new viewer, please make sure you hit the like button for this video and also hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps me out, just really grows the content, grows the channel, and I really would love to see even more people in the live premiere chats. Someday, I hope we can get 100, live chats, 100 people on the channel, so we'll see. But these are the orchid teacups right here, and then we have the small ones right over here. These are really cute. I might end up getting some very nice looking Phalaenopsis orchids when I get my house in order. There's a couple of plants that I definitely need to either give away or just find another space for it in my home. I am starting to get a little bit more cluttered, and that's the reason why I've been a little bit more apprehensive about showing you my houseplant tour. But if you are watching this and haven't seen my Syngonium collection, it is an older video, but I urge you guys to just scroll down my channel, look at some of my older videos, and check out my Syngonium collection. I have quite a bit of my Syngonium shown there. And you can see that I am shopping at night, so there's less people here. It makes it easier. And then we have some assorted foliage right here, starting at $12.99. And then obviously we have those philodendron pink princess marbles right here. And then we have some Hydra helix. Guys, you already knew that you weren't going to go the whole video without me saying Hydra helix, or actually the correct term is Hedera helix. And this is the this is the English ivy, the infamous Hydra helix. That is actually difficult to grow, and the reason why is English ivy are difficult to grow indoors because they are basically a spider mite nightmare. Like, basically think of a plant that you put in your home and spider mites are going to appear. That is the plant. And then right here we've got a button fern, really cute looking one. All of the plants you are seeing right now in terms of the tropical indoor plants are sourced out by Mason Farms. It is a nursery out in New Mexico, and I really like their plants just because they have a lot of just easy to care for plants, except this one right here. This is a polka dot plant for $9.99. These are difficult to grow. As beautiful as they are, they tend to crisp up. I am curious if anybody's grown them long term. Now, this plant is one of my favorite plants, hands down. This is a Palea plant, or an aluminum plant right here. Really like that. A lot of love the silver foliage, and this one is actually very much full. To keep this full, you want to make sure you are trimming this down and pruning it consistently. You can take those cuttings, put it in water, and it will root very easily. You can actually put the new rooted cuttings into the pot to make it even more full. But love this. This is a great terrarium plant, but the one I have currently is doing very well. That one's for $9.99. And we're just going to pan over here and see what other plants they have. Mason Farms is awesome. Love their plants. They've got some rare finds as well, like an Alocasia stingray that I found the other day. But here is another Hydra helix, guys, or Hedera helix. English ivy variegated version. This one is the gold baby one. Look at that variegation. And somebody asked why I'm always talking about English ivy. It's because I have like a love relationship with it. It just doesn't want to love me back. I've killed about 11 of these in my plant journey. My 12th one that I have is doing well, and I got a number 13. And you can see, look at the variegation. If you ask me why I like English ivy, it's because they remind me of maple leaves, and I love maple trees. This one right here is an Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. This one's got some really nice variegation. If you're a new houseplant, collector, get this for your first plant, or at least add a pothos to your plant. Specifically this one. This is the classic OG houseplant. Very easy. $9.99. You can't kill it. You can actually multiply it and make you a whole pothos jungle in your home. That was what was happening when I was collecting plants about 3 to 4 years ago. I ended up just propagating pothos plants. It's actually fun to propagate multiple types of pothos and putting them in a mixed planter. And right here, we've got a beautiful Rex begonia. Love that. Look at that metallic shine on the leaves. Love all of the pinks, the lavenders, the grays, the purples, the dark purples. Beautiful looking begonia. I I would just say what's tough about this begonia is the watering, because you definitely want to water it. I think you want to let it just like bone dry and not overwater it. Never, ever, ever get water on the leaves or the stems, especially. Otherwise, they will just crisp up, rot up, and die. And then you'll have a bare plant. And then we have some more Calathea here. This is actually the first time I've really seen Calathea ornata at Kroger. I saw this the other day. This one's for $19.99. I do think this is a little bit pricey. Typically, Kroger or grocery stores have some really good pricing for the plants. For this one, not so much. So we definitely want to revisit some of the plants. And that's why I like giving you guys big box store plant shopping videos daily and giving you the prices, because then it gives you guys an idea of where you can get your plants for a good price. Now, if you're buying a pothos plant or Epipremnum aureum, either a neon pothos, jade pothos, golden pothos, Kroger is the best place. You can get them for $9.99 in a 6-inch planter, and I think that is a really good deal. Typically, they are like maybe $12.99, maybe $16.99. So check Kroger out for that. And then we have a peperomia raisinette. Look at how gorgeous that is. I love that it looks like raisins, legit raisins. $13.99, something I would add to my collection just because I like the purple dark foliage plants. Like, I definitely need to get more dark foliage plants in my houseplant collection. And then what else do we have here? We have this fern, very delicate looking fern. This is a plumosa fern. I don't know all of the care tips for that, but I just know that this is probably a fern that's going to need a lot of humidity. I mean, look at how delicate the leaves are. And then we have another miniature rose. It's just mixed up around here. It's probably because somebody changed their mind on it, but nonetheless, look at how beautiful the blooms are. And then we have some peperomia. So this is really cool. This is a peperomia rousseau for $9.99. Look at that, and look at those little strings or these little rat tail looking things. Those are the blooms, and this one looks to be very happy, because if it's blooming, that means that it's gotten the right ideal conditions to where it has enough energy to push out blooms. Really cool looking peperomia, but the peperomia right next to it is even more so what I like. It's got some more compact leaves. This is the peperomia San Marino for $9.99. Definitely like this as well. It would be one peperomia I would add. I just remember having peperomias in the past, and the watering got kind of like, I just didn't do the right watering conditions, and it also ended up getting spider mites. So like, I'm not sure if I want to add that to my collection just yet. And then right over here, we have some philodendron pink princess marbles, really nice looking ones. I just don't know if I want to pay $29.99 for it. I did see a couple of Krogers that have, reduced or clearanced out the price to where it was like $10. If I find one that has like some super variegation and it's on clearance, I may end up buying it just to see what this philodendron pink princess looks like versus the Max and Miles philodendron pink princess I find at HEB, which is a local Texas grocery store. Love this. This is a not a philodendron. This is a Dracaena Marley. Look at that green on green variegation. Very easy plant. It's a very showy plant actually, and I like the size. This will obviously get a lot larger. But as you guys can see, that is all for my plant shopping videos. This is just another close-up of the cordyline tea plant that I intend to grow in water. So stay tuned for that video. If you made it this far, again, please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. I do daily plant videos every single day around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. sometimes, or even later, but there will always be a video. But you can see that these are the plants that I'm working with, and I ended up getting this Azalea Simsii or indoor azalea, the purple one. So excited that I got it for a good price. $9.99 is not bad for a plant this size, and I cannot wait for the blooms to come around. Spring is around the corner, and you guys, my plant foldies, as always, please make sure you guys continue to join my videos. I appreciate you guys so much. Come to my channel, leave some comments, but I will give you guys a lot of updates, even care tips for this particular one. So this is Richie at Growfold. As always, please subscribe and plant foldies. Happy plant planting, and make sure that you guys say hi to me on my Instagram. Bye.